And so tonight, the United States now has over 211,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus, over 4,700 deaths.
The frustrating thing about all of this is it really just feels like it's too little too late.
We had to get a refrigerated truck to store the bodies of patients who were dying.
You know, I don't know what else that I can say, and I'm just begging that something be done.
The state has been great and gracious enough to bring us apparatus to help keep families and keep the bodies in comfortable areas because we didn't want bodies piled on top of each other.
All these artists talking lies, saying they a boss inside, when the lines they provide are falsified, saying how they sling rocks and they toss they 9, but they money always short like they 4'5". Ride, I'm a heavyweight, starving like I never ate. Apes in the jungle snatching bread off they dinner plate. Rap lines devastate, each time I demonstrate my rhymes on landmines go boom when it detonate as quick as it need be, as slick as a BG. Hit him with 5 albums, then I gave him an EP, cause Inph spit sicker than TB. Murdered so many rappers, the coroners mixing my CD. These bullets hopping out in 3D. The Mac will fly your head out the window if you ain't giving up PC. These bars are enormous, the back of my yard look like a forest. I'm leaving artists scarred off the chorus. These niggas are force fed, saying they scorched lead, betraying what they not, they obey what the law says. My niggas getting weighted that raw bread. That lie get you so high, the brain will levitate out your forehead. I pay my dividends, I guess it's that never end. For the Benjamins, we gon' sever off the heads of men. A veteran with a G-pack in my 8-ball. You violate and get rolled on like a skateboard. If we don't got it, we gon' get it. It's God-given. The lessons that we learned as a product of hard living. Posted with narcotics, the object of Dodge prison. Rapping to my rosary, hoping that God listen. I relapse, hit the street strapped with a G-pack. These niggas always fold like the back of my kneecaps. I peep that, can't increase stacks with your weak raps. Every time you rhyme, it's like you rapping with feedback. Every day we blaze the haze, I'll raise the gauge. Turn the whack rappers, fade the waves. On the grind in a major way, getting major pay. 24K to grace the stage. The streets wanted bars, so it's giving them practice. Like I'm fresh out the yard, lift the shit off its axis. You can leave the extra bricks by the mattress. This is COVID-19, hip-hop is your stimulus package, young. Ride, ride, the world famous.
So, hey, it's your girl live with Taji, WEMS Radio, and we back. And I told you I had a very special guest coming up, and here we are. We got Inph. What's up, yo?
Boom! What's up? How we feeling? Everything's good?
Everything's good.
How was
I know you have the infamous Amadeuz, but you go by Inph, right?
Yeah. Well, people that know me personally, they call me Inph. I actually go by Inph. I think a lot of people that listen to me on radio, or if they don't know me personally, they refer to me as Amadeuz because of the way my name is structured. So it's like the infamous Amadeuz. But my actual name is actual Infamous. Like that is my actual name. And so my actual name is my name was always Infamous. And then, I wanted something like the Notorious B.I.G. And obviously heavily influenced by Mobb Deep, like the infamous Mobb Deep. So I had found out that Amadeuz was Mozart's real name. So I just added Amadeuz on it, and I became the infamous Amadeuz. But this is why people around me call me Inph, because they know me as Infamous in a sense. It's weird, but it's.
Because you are infamous. I mean,
yeah, I am. Yeah.
very popular, very talented. I mean, and you've been super busy, and from being super busy, you know, it brings you to where you are now. You
Yeah.
know, you work hard and things happen, right?
The
And you
progress.
I would say a mogul if people don't know.
Yeah, they're finding out slowly but surely.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. Actually, I've been to a previous event of yours at Haiti, and I know it's on one of the nights where I do my show, and it's definitely fun. And you guys always have a lot of people that come out. And with that being said, I see that you're well known pretty much everywhere. You know, so of course, wherever you're at, people want to follow. So I definitely thank you for being on Live with Taji. I'm so honored.
I thank you for having me. I'm very appreciative.
So I want to get straight into this because, you know, we have this pandemic going on.
Yeah.
And we're around the same age. You know, I'm not going to say, but we're in the same era. And I mean, I don't think, no, I'm not going to say I don't think. We haven't been through anything like this ever.
No, definitely not.
And I mean, we're going through this now in year 2020. And of course, on my Instagram, the news feed came up and automatic. I seen this big sign, COVID-19. And so what? Obviously, we know what inspired you, but what made you say, you know what, I need to drop an EP, COVID-19?
You know, it's very hard for me to be a musician, Taj, because obviously my priority throughout the years has become radio now. It's very hard for me to be a musician, for me to write in the manner that I write. And for anyone who listens to my music, you know that lyricism is a priority for me. And wordplay, penmanship, double, triple entendres in my lyrics. So it's very difficult for me to get into a space consistently where I can say, you know what, I just want to write music. It's hard. So once the quarantine happened and I seen it was a real situation, I basically just took advantage of it. I said, you know what, I'm gonna write a new EP, and I'm gonna call it COVID-19 to you know, basically place the time period that it's at. It's not, the name of the project is not really so much about the content on the project. It's more about the time period. So this is where I recorded, I mixed it, and I released it. And I did the whole entire EP in a week. I did everything in a week, recording, mixing, mastering in a week.
Oh my gosh.
For those who follow me, I'm sure everyone, because they've been asking me what happened to my Any Day Now series, because I was going to, at this time, drop the second Any Day Now, which was going to be a lo-fi project. People heard the aggressive Any Day Now, but, you know, plans just changed. Like, this was just something that happened. I said, you know what, I can't drop this type of music right now. I need to be outside for this. You know what, let me huddle back into the space that I think people are comfortable hearing me in. They're comfortable hearing me in this aggressive, you know, 90s style punchlines. The lo-fi thing would just be a complete turn away.
I was about to say that. I could tell from hearing it that I could hear the 90s style behind it, and I can hear the realness. Like,
yeah. People have become accustomed to hearing me like that. You know, in all fairness, I'm not really in that space anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the things that I'm talking about in these rhymes are it's real shit, but it's past tense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on the block no more, obviously. You know what I mean? But I've been there. You know, I've done all that. You know, so the purpose of the lo-fi album was to kind of me be able to rap what I am now, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a homeowner. I work on the radio. You know, I got a family. You know, and that's what I kind of wanted to portray. But once the COVID-19 happened, it was back to hoodie season. It's like, put your hoodie on. It's time to go back to the trap and go back to what it is, because now we're bunkered down. You know what I mean?
Speaking of hoodies, I see you got your matching hat. You know, I remember you got like 50 million hats.
Yeah, I got 437 exactly.
Oh my! You know, my husband was dying. Stop talking about that. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I've collected a lot of hats. I've collected a lot of hats. Yeah, I've collected a lot of hats through the years. So where Sirius XM is, there's a Lids on the same block. So I would go and get like 3 hats like every time I would DJ, and then just basically accumulated, you know, throughout.
That's trouble. That's just trouble right there.
I don't have space for them no more. No.
So being that you're so busy, you know, Shade 45 on, you know, Sirius XM, and I mean, you have other shows as well. You're on Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
You know, I see you have something else coming out.
Yeah. So I mean, so I have
hour.
Yeah, so I have my my podcast, the Inphamus Hour, which is under iHeartRadio. The Inphamus Hour was a deal that I had acquired with iHeartRadio at a time where I had got taken off of air on Sirius XM. There was a time period where I got taken off air because of some legality issue. It had nothing to do with me per se, but essentially there was like a law that was passed. Basically saying that if you were on air, you had to get paid a certain amount. And at that time, I wasn't getting paid to be there. You know, at that time, I was just there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And before people start going, oh, you know, trust me, 90% of the DJs that you listen to are not getting paid to be at the radio station. They have what's called a contract from $0. At this time, I had no contract. I was just there. I was on air. And so to protect themselves, they had to remove me off air for a certain amount of time. To let the time period pass. So I was off air. Jesus, it was a while. I was off air almost. Wow, Todd, I want to say about 10 months. I was off air.
Almost a year. I was about to say about almost a year. Wow.
Yeah, almost about a year. And then when I was able to get back on air, I wasn't able to talk for like another 7 months because of this law that was passed. Yeah, so essentially when you do television, when you do radio, you basically have to sign waivers every time you go on air, right? So if you go to Sirius XM, you have to sign a waiver. If you go to Fox News, you got to sign a waiver. So I was essentially on air for like 2.5 years every single day with no waiver. You see what I'm saying? So, and it was more because of the luck of what happened. Like I started as a film guy. And then by the luck of the draw, I ended up getting on air. And I didn't even know how to DJ when I first got there. DJing is new. Like, I just started DJing like 2 years ago. So you're
great at it, though.
Yeah, thank you. I like playing music for the fans, and I think they enjoy it as well. But anyway, just, you know, so when this time had happened, you know, I had such a buzz from Sirius XM. I didn't want to, you know, lose it. So I had acquired a deal with iHeartRadio to do my own show, the Inphamus Hour. But I basically held it for a long time. And then once I partnered with Boom Bap Nation, which a lot of guys see that I'm working with now, I said, you know what, this is the right time to do it. So now, you know, the Inphamus Hour is out, and it's dope. We're at 500,000 streams. And slowly but surely, I'm converting the Inphamus Hour into more of a talk radio show as opposed to like an interview type of thing where, you know, I do a live broadcast on Facebook at 9 o'clock. I have callers. We have general topics. And I really want to get more to the journalistic aspect of music as opposed to being categorized as like a DJ or just like some radio guy. Like the great ones are all journalists. Sway is a journalist. You know, like these are journalists. So this is where I'm trying to go right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So I just wanted to tap into, you know, other things about you for those that don't know, you know, but I don't want to stray away from the fact that you dropped the EP COVID-19. And I want to talk more about you being a music artist because, you know, I understand how you could be talented at so many things and you want to show that.
Yeah.
And there's always that. You can love more than one thing at a time. I get it, but there's always that, you know what I mean? That one thing that is like, that's my heart. Like, that's my baby. That's, you know, of course, family's first, but you know.
Of course, yeah.
So would you say like being a music artist is your number one? Not saying you have to choose, but that's the thing. That would be like your go-to. Like, understand you said journalism is where you want to be at. But you don't really get to be a music artist because you're always so busy on radio and so forth. So
I would say 10 years ago, being an artist would have definitely been my number one thing. I think now that I'm a little older and my priorities have shifted, I would say hip hop in general is just what I love and everything that comes with hip hop. But what I will say is being an MC out of all my talents, you know, film, you know, selling nutcrackers on National Geographic, whatever it is, being a rapper is my number one talent, being an MC. So yeah, in that aspect, absolutely. Being a rapper is the best thing that I do out of all the things that people know me for. And I think it all just kind of fall. And it's amazing to be able to express yourself and to see the fans and the people enjoy the music. Plus, we are also living in a time now where, you know, bars, being able to rap is actually cool again. You know what I'm saying? It's cool again to be able to rap, you know? So, you know,
especially when you're really great at it.
When you're really great at it. And a lot of guys that are coming out now as lyricists, they're all around our age groups. I remember like before, like if you wasn't like 20, you know, you wasn't able to get on. Now you could be 30 something and come out as a new artist and everybody's receptive to it.
Yeah. You gotta be really dope for that though.
No, you gotta be super fire.
Super dope for that. Like, because you already know people that are, you want to come out and think you can rap, we'll be looking at you like,
yeah, going to get dumb.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not for you.
But it's a 6-track EP.
Yeah, it's
first one, you just went straight to the point on the first track, stimulus package.
Yeah, straight to the point. So I so out of the 6 tracks, 5 of them are new, and the last song, Carrots, was on another album that I had called The Untouchables. And what ended up happening was the guy that produced this whole EP, I didn't know him at the time that I did that album. I had just was given the beat by someone. So we started there, like by remixing that record, and then I said, I'm gonna write it. But yeah, the stimulus package thing, it was dope because I got to have like my daughters, they're the ones saying the COVID-19 thing in the beginning. Like when you hear it. So like I had like my daughters, and then we pulled news clips, and then I was able to like just spit, you know, a straightforward record, a little violent, but you know, just I mean, there are some gems in there. But yes, I mean, stimulus package is just, you know, in my opinion, the work that I created is hip hop stimulus package, because we didn't really get a body of work during this time. So I feel like, you know what, let me give hip hop the COVID-19 stimulus package.
Now, with the COVID-19 EP, is it more relating to, like you said, more of you and what you've been through, whether it's past, present, or future? Or is there some ties of the actual COVID-19 aspect in that as well?
No, it's more personal shit that I've been through. And it's more like a lot of past tense, even though everything that I wrote is new on there. And then there are some things that's COVID-19 related, like for example, like the record that's out right now is called Achu. So it's like, yeah, so it's
I
like,
thought that was cute.
Yeah, it's Achu, but it's a super aggressive 90s record, you know, but it's the Achu metaphor. It's like, you know, you can't be around niggas that's spitting and sneezing, but you know, I'm spitting gas, so I'm spitting lyrics. So it kind of applies in the same context as COVID-19. You can't be around niggas that spit, but guess what? You can't be around me either because I'm spitting balls. So it's the same thing.
That's
but like
right there.
Yeah, but like I said previously, the COVID-19 concept is more based around the time frame more than anything. It's definitely because this is a period of time, you know, this is going down in the record books, like forever.
Yeah.
Youngin', the world famous. Check, look, motherfucking straight duckin' when I come through. Cause when that tick blitz, yeah, I hot you and bless you to the next dimension. Yeah. If it's my name you mention, yo, I gets wicked. Microphone physic to be specific. My lyrics encrypted with hidden gifts if you gifted. Predicted to spit hot shit if you insisted. I'm getting lifted with your misses in the Pacific. Amazing, spit radiation when I'm blazing. The Mary Janein', got my eyes looking Asian with no persuasion. Spit tracks of information. Them whack raps get you back smacked across the nation. A criminal individual spitting subliminal until the 40 get rid of you during the interview. It's critical critical. I'm the epitome of at your pinnacle. I'll leave you in critical condition when I spit at you. Rich is hustling crack until they money up. Backpacking, cracking the sack until the sun be up. Backtracking, clapping the Mac until the gun be up. Matter of fact, I'm clapping the gat until you hover up. Everywhere like COVID-19, I'm like a dream till you lean and you seen in a hospital machine. A physician, give you the streets what they've been missing. We in knee deep, spit heat, we the commission. Youngin', motherfucker straight duckin' when I come through. Cause when they take bliss, I hot you and bless you to the next dimension. If it's my name you mention, listen. Look, my shots riddle your block, crippled of course. Sweet, my pop pistols, you cop nickels and scorch wheat. Block on official, the cop crystals is costly. Glock on missile, my shots whistle, get off me. We strategists, rap catalyst at its maximus. My activists are activating rap on paralysis. Young me doing this is way back. Your bitch wanna top me cause my jewels are on Rocky like ASAPs. The top soldier shots spit, flipping you drop over, your clicker turn. When they lift out the Glock holster, my wrist is all lit like my got stockholders. Bullets spit sick like that fifth got glaucoma. It's about to be a baddie. I'm inside out from the Tommy. The Johnny got more kick than karate. Cause I be plotting while you sitting in your lobby. It's homicide, I busting clips is a hobby. It's over. It's straight ducking when I come through. Cause when that tick bliss, we'll hot you and bless you to the next dimension. If it's my name you mention, listen.
We be the infamous.
If it's my name you mention, listen.
We be the infamous.
If it's my name you mention,
I'm from a crime family. We got polite manners, but we might pop hammers. Paparazzi flash cameras. I was in a bronze phantom. I broke oaths with celibate shorties. I'm from a broken home. We only link when putting fam on the soil. Money satisfied like half of my mood. Then there's a part of me that's distant, quiet, dangerous. Put my pain into Ableton. I spin a 38 like a Dreidel or make a hater flip. Loose change fly out his pockets. The shell cases spit. Throughout my halo, put some chips on the table. I give you a bitch a souvenir. She sniff from Barbados. Give two about your clicking if you inked with a label. Loose lips sink ships, make situations that's fatal. To the art I'm Basquiat, to the block I'm still same old. Campanelli, lobster tail, sprinkle parsley and basil. This for my dogs locked in cages or locks on their ankle. We can make fortunes together, but it take two to tango. I gotta get it.
Motherfucker straight ducking when I come through. Cause when that tick bliss, I hot you and bless you to the next dimension. If it's my name you mention, listen.
We be the infamous.
If it's my name you mention, listen.
We be the infamous.
If it's my name you mention, listen. You know I give it up though. COVID-19, the infamous Amadeuz. We back at it though. If it's my name you mention, listen. The world famous records. That's that knock right there. Yeah. Check. COVID-19. And it better clear the room out. Youngin'.
Graph wise.
Check. Look, if you don't love me alive and don't want me when I die, youngin'. Trust, I got my hands up high. It's a fucking robbery. Put your in the sky. Look, trust my nigga, I get at him. My nigga, you get at him. I can send them goons up top, then go and clap him. Throw him in that river when I body bag rap him. Hands in the air, it's the motherfucking anthem. I'm on top of my game, whether it's rap or cocking the flame. Thoughts fly like missiles when they hop on my brain. I'm insane, ain't a nigga who's stopping my reign. All you hear is gunshots, bodies drop when I aim. Take the oath of me, hand on your heart where it's supposed to be. Thou shalt not violate if you close to me. Your blood stains is what remains on your rosary. The tech will leave you flaming like you said you gay openly. My mind's gone, I'm a time bomb when I grind strong. Got diamonds big enough to be a mountain to lie on. Got watches big enough to be a mountain to climb on. Counting with my papers, a mountain and I'm gone. You know me, OG flowers on OD. If your flows are OZ, then mine's a whole key. You slipping slugs spitting while you sipping the OE. I'm gripping lane switcher while I'm whipping the full speed. I'm dirtier, body bag rap, I straight murder ya. Gats make is they never heard of ya. Flow hot, but my heart's colder than suburbia. About to set the stage on blaze when the burner's up. All the chitter chat, packs I get rid of that. The Mac can melt the fucking Yankee side off your fitted cap. Your team booed off stage when you spit a rap. That's why I'm dumping whack rappers' bodies with the rivers at. If you don't love me alive and don't want me when I die, youngin'. Trust, I got my hands up high. It's a fucking robbery. Put your in the sky. Look, trust my nigga, I get at him. You get at him. I can send them goons up top that go and clap them. Throw them in that river when I body bag rap them. Hands in the air, it's the motherfucking anthem. Hey yo, it's God is my witness. Revolvers is solving my business. I'm calm when I'm armed for your riches. Who is this? Heat that's burning the spot. Glocks will make your head look like a convertible top. If not, it's off the roof into a vertical drop. All these whack here is I'm grounding. It's the same story when I'm riding. Hang gliding till it sound like 40 planes are colliding. I'm gripping it. Tracks are like cracks, I'm straight flipping it. You so whack when you rap, DJs is skipping it. I'm on track to get stacks on some different shit. Money long enough to fill up a fucking pyramid. Can't move weight by me. If it's hate by me, it's bye-bye. It's say la vie. Your rap style's phonier than a fake ID. Spit sick like I'm mixed with COVID-19. I'm a beast. You don't love me alive and don't want me when I die, youngin'. Trust, I got my hands up high. It's a fucking robbery. Put your in the sky. Look, trust my nigga, I get at him. You get at him. I can send them goons up top that go and clap them. Throw them in that river when I body bag rap them. Hands in the air, it's the motherfucking anthem. You know we back on that bar, though. We still the untouchables. The world famous records. Yeah. Graph Wise, what's up? We back at it though.
And it's good that you said that, because you know you'll have the haters listening like, I don't really hear. I thought I was gonna hear something about COVID or whatever. You know what happened. You know, it's always those people out there that got something to say.
Yeah.
But you know, it's 2020, and that's just what it is. But I see you have listen, I loved it. I was listening to it like soon. I was like, oh shoot, that's what's up. And I see that you have Cool G Rap. Yeah,
Cool G Rap.
And you know, I gotta give a shout out to the others. You know, Ricky Bats, Lazarus. That's my guy. E-Pool. I know them. You know.
Yeah.
No hate to the others.
But Cool G Rap is a legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool G Rap. I met Cool G Rap when I was doing film directing. And I spent a lot of time around him. I was doing like a lot of his his show performances. Like when he would come to New York, they would call me and I would film a lot of the shows.
Excuse me, you got it like that, huh?
And he had an artist that I actually knew him like from previous since I was a kid. So I ended up shooting his video, and then you know G Rap gave me the verse at the time that I had shot the video for G Rap and his artist, and that's essentially how I got G Rap on the record. And I actually have another G Rap record that I'm sitting on right now that I'm just gonna wait until the right time to come out, and then I'll put out the second G Rap record. I mean, G Rap is, you know, he's a legend as far as like lyricists, and I don't think people really understand how much he's contributed to hip hop. Like even like when you hear me rap, like the rapid fire flow, like the big pun flow, like that type of shit. That's all based on.
You said big pun, man.
You know, like AZ, like this whole rapid fire shit. That's all based on Cool G Rap. He's the one that invented that shit. And he's still super fire. Like he could rap probably better now than he could before.
Yeah, that's dope. Especially for those that know who he is. Like it's dope that you have him on your EP. And I'm sure you knew, you was like, yeah, she gonna ask me how that happened.
Yeah.
Answer that already.
I mean, everybody asks because it's like, you know, you can't just get a record with Cool G Rap.
Right.
You know, that's like having a record with like Rakim. Like you cannot just get a record with these guys. But you know, like we were saying before, like I paid a lot of dues in hip hop. So a lot of people see me as like this radio DJ. They don't even know that like my whole film directing resume, you know, I shot on.
That's crazy.
Videos. Like they don't
with a lot of heavy hitters, man.
You know, people say like, oh, I sound like Jadakiss. They don't even know, like, I really know these niggas. Like, I shot videos for these niggas. I've been on tour with these niggas. Like, they don't know. They just, people are looking at me right now in a sense where it's like, he's a radio DJ and he's rapping now. Like, they don't really understand that it's actually the opposite way. Like, I only started DJing so I could play my own fucking, you know, records on the radio because nobody was playing my shit the same way they're not playing their shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why
in order to get things done, you gotta do something, start something on your own and make it happen. And then also support others as well. Because I know you're not just about yourself. No, you know, I did see that you're also a Pisces.
I am a
so
Pisces.
I was like, oh, you know, I just get like that, like, what? Pisces too?
Yeah.
So I really know you're not just about yourself. Like, of course, you're gonna do what you gotta do to build your brand. Not that it has to continue to be built, but to keep it moving.
Of course,
but you're also supportive to others as well, you know. And I've seen that you've had like other artists on radio shows, play their music, have them do their bars and all that other stuff. That's super dope.
Yeah, well, so a lot of people, I mean, they may not know like the general audience, but at least the underground knows that I have a cipher on Shade 45 on Thursdays. I mean, on Wednesday, I'm sorry, it's called Sirius Cypher. And essentially for the last year and change, I've been putting 3 unsigned artists on the radio every single Wednesday. Like no money, none of that shit. Like primetime radio, you just gotta have bars. Eventually when the showcase started to pick up, I started the live cypher at the showcase with the band, and I started picking guys out of the cypher in order to go to Shade 45 because I think one of the problems with unsigned artists, and it's not all of them, I think a lot of guys feel like they're entitled to things. Like you're entitled. Like I'm from New York, I can rap, I'm entitled. No, being on radio is a privilege. Being able to walk in the same room as Sway is a privilege. Being on the same platform as DJ Premier is a privilege. Being there with Lord Sear, who at the end of the day, without him, none of this shit happens, is a privilege. It's not something you're entitled to because you rap good on your block. No. So I start making guys work. Like, nigga, you want to rap, nigga, come to my showcase. You know, Taji, we ain't charging niggas for the show for the most part. We ain't charging niggas for the showcase. Come spit with a live band, get a dope vibe, and you get a chance to get on Shade. Now that the COVID-19 has happened, I've shifted this concept to online. So now on Fridays, I go live on my Instagram. And I just let niggas fucking rap on my Instagram. And then I'll pick 6 guys. And then from there, I have them battle on Monday. And those 3 guys, I put them on the radio Wednesday. And I've been doing this ever since. So I've already put like 15 kids from Instagram.
Yeah. You done started something. So you done started something. It's going to be hard to just cut. All right, that's it. It's just too much. And I'm sure, you know, the emails and the DMs is constant.
It's crazy. You know, I enjoy, you know, just on a personal level, I enjoy putting these kids on the radio because some of them, this may be the only thing they ever do.
Right.
And it's just the reality of it. You know, like a lot of these guys, you know, this may be the only thing that they have on their resume.
Right.
So, you know, if I can provide that from them to them, and it doesn't cost me anything, obviously, and you know, I'm able to reward them for their lyricism.
Yeah, and they'll never forget that either. They'll never forget that.
Absolutely. I put a lot of guys on the radio for the first time. As a matter of fact, a lot of the guys that have been on the cypher, they've never even been to the radio station before. You know, so, you know, a lot of them. And it gives me like a sense of like satisfaction. And it's also like, you know, me paying back for like some of the grimy shit I did when I was a kid, like just getting in trouble and like, you know, just doing dumb shit, you know, walking around with 2 felonies now as an adult. So it's kind of like my way of like, as well, like repaying society.
Like giving back, paying it forward kind of thing.
Yes, giving it back to the community.
But you know, you live and you learn. That's the past. And it's like, okay, I'm here now. And, you know, and then sometimes I think even so, I don't think it was as easy as it is now. You know, and like you first
Yeah.
started out, I don't think it was that. Sometimes it's, you know, till this day, sometimes things can happen depending on who you meet.
Of
You
course,
might
yeah.
just meet the right person, you know. But a lot of things too, that I also noticed, and I don't know, you can agree with me, you know, I definitely want to
Yeah.
hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people will assume, like you said, you know, a lot of people know you as just, you know, radio DJ,
Yeah.
artist. But sometimes a person may walk in and you may think they're nobody whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know who they are.
That's true.
And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm gonna let you just think that I'm a radio personality, but you don't know what else I do.
Yeah.
And you don't know who I know. And a lot of people will look at you like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, see Jay-Z come in the room and go run to him knowing damn well you cannot get past security. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
You know how many people is gonna be like, yo, listen to this, listen to that, or whatever.
Yeah.
But that one person that was a nobody, you looked over them, and then guess what? You find out who they are. Now they want to be blowing you up.
Yeah, blowing
Well,
your
you know,
DM
they
up
be
and all
speaking
shit.
their way in. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
It's not a, hey, it's, oh, you know, I saw what you got going on, you know, just checking in to say what's up. And then, I mean, do you get that sometimes when people like will hit you up and be like, yo, can you spin my music for me, or can I be a part of the cipher? And,
Yeah.
you know?
I think to this point, like where I am now, I kind of think, you know, most people know what it is at this point. But in all fairness, it wasn't always like that. You know, so it wasn't always like that. Like after I had got signed, a lot of people don't know that I was signed to Universal, I was signed to Columbia, and I was signed to Def Jam.
Yeah, I knew that. I was like, should I bring that up?
Now you can bring it up. No, we can talk it up. So after my deal with Def Jam, Def Jam had offered me $200,000 for the first Any Day Now album. It's called Any Day Now, my first entry. You could actually, the first Any Day Now is actually on iTunes. It's from 2012.
Okay.
And they offered me $200,000, but the APR rate on the deal was 67%. So for those who know mortgages, APR is your interest. So essentially, you know, I'm gonna have to pay you $200,000 back plus 67% on top of that before I even get paid $1.
Oh gosh.
So what ended up happening was I took the deal for $0, and we just put the record out on Island Def Jam Digital. And at that moment, I realized to say, you know what? I was in the same space as all the artists that I work with now. In a sense, it's like I'm a rapper. I'm just around a bunch of rappers. I don't know anybody. I don't have no connections. I'm in a you know, a barrel of crabs, just trying to climb a ladder that's you know, keep falling down. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna learn the business, and I took myself out of being a rapper. Now that you know that, you know, rap is the best thing that I do, because now they know it. It was such an ego hit, like super ego hit. Like, I'm not gonna rap no more when I know I'm better than all these niggas anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna rap no more. But it was what was needed, because you cannot get like where I am right now being a rapper. You have to bring more to the table, and it was important for me to have people respect me as a business person. So when it was time for me to come out as an artist, they were more receptive to it. You see what I'm saying? So I started behind the scenes. Me and my wife, we started with a modeling agency, because we were like, you know, how the fuck are we gonna meet people? We didn't know anybody.
Get at him. I see you got a lot of I get at him. I'm like,
So this was Get At 'Em. This is during the Get At 'Em period. So it was like, it was Get At 'Em girls. We started with like fucking 4 local girls on my block. I grew up with this director named Mills Miller, who he shot mad videos, but he like recently he shot the Swiss Beats and Lil Wayne video, on the special delivery beat. But so I knew him. I started with him. From there, I started meeting all the directors. It got to the point where I became essentially a casting director, where they would pay me money to basically do everything for them. So like, for example, like an Inph Rivera, for example, you know, instead of him finding a location, finding this, they would just come with a budget. Yo, I need wardrobe, I need makeup, I need this. And we would do all of this shit. Eventually, throughout time, I said, you know what, I'm going to learn the camera. I taught myself the camera. And then I had got my first video with Snipe Life and Jadakiss, Another Day, Another Dollar. I had edited some videos before that, but that was like the first one. And then from there, it just started catapulting. I was editing videos. Then I had met Papoose. I was editing videos for Papoose, and he had this record called 6 a.m. It was Ice-T, Jadakiss, Jim Jones, and Papoose. He's like, listen, I need this shit done in 17 hours. I got the release party on Tuesday. The video's not done. And the thing about that video, I only shot one scene in that video. I shot the intro and I shot the scene of him walking with the 2 cops. I didn't shoot nothing else, but they gave me the video. And I edited this shit, got it done in time, and that's where I got my first director's credit. And then from there, it was just, it was on and popping, like, from there. And then I just started shooting Fetty Wap and, you know, Dave East, and just, you know, even like Jay Craig.
Editing isn't easy.
It's a pain in the ass. Like right now, I'm editing my video. You know, I just shot my first video.
Oh, you got some videos coming up?
I got some videos. And the thing about film was, I used to love film, Taj. Like, I used to really love film, but once it became a job, I just didn't like it.
It just wasn't fun anymore, and it was just like.
Yeah, I used to really love, like, you know, angles and shit. And a lot of people, like, in the film industry, they credit me for creating like a random B-roll shot, which is like, if you watch a video and you see someone like just put like a random pole or like a random gate. Like, I was the first one to do that. And I would do that to fill in the time, because a lot of times with these rappers, you didn't have a lot of time with them to shoot their video. So, you know, if Jadakiss is coming, if Styles P's coming, I don't got time to shoot mad shit with them. So I would have to fill in the B-roll, and I would pick random objects, random poles and shit. And a lot of people, and this is now to this day. That's like, so now that I told you this, when you watch videos, you'll see it in videos. Like, I would be paying attention to that now. I had 40 videos in the top box of World Star. 40 videos in the top box of World Star in like a year and a half. So people were seeing, this is when World Star was hot. So people see the videos. And yeah, that shit was amazing. And then at that time I was, I had the Nutcrackers. I still had the Nutcrackers popping anyway in the streets, whatever. And I was really doing them shits on video sets now.
Nutcrackers are still popular.
Yeah, liquor stores were closing. You know, I would sell fucking 2,000 Nutcrackers in like a month. And National Geographic called wind of that. And they DM'd me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I couldn't even believe that shit. I thought it was fucking bullshit. Like, yo,
I know. I'm sure you looked at your phone like, wait.
I'm like, what the fuck, National Geographic? They're like, yo, it's National Geographic. We got a show called Underworld Inc. Want to come to New York and meet me? They met me. Boom. I did the National Geographic shit, and that shit just, forget it. That shit just took off. And that's where Lord Sears saw me on National Geographic. He saw me on National Geographic selling liquor. And that's how I got the Shade
45.
And that's how I got the Shade 45. When I first got the Shade 45, I went up as a guest. Then he had got the primetime show. They brought me in as a cameraman. And then Lord Sear basically had got sick, and they didn't really have no one to bust administrative plays. So I started pulling all my contacts from the film shit. I was bringing rappers, bringing guest DJs and shit. And that's how the whole DJ thing started happening too, because I was putting DJ Self and putting these niggas on the radio. I said, you know what? I'm putting myself on the fucking radio. I didn't even know how to DJ. I just bought a laptop and just figured that shit out. And the rest is history.
You was a guest DJ at a few other places, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like MSG.
Madison Square. Oh my God, Madison Square Garden. That shit. Luckily we got to do that, Taj, before COVID-19 hit. That was in January. I out of all the things I've done, I have to say that right there is the most adrenaline rushing,
really? I'm sure,
gratifying.
But that's a lot of pressure too, because there's so many people.
Yo, there was 21,000 people in the Garden that night. Yeah, but you know, it was weird, Taj, because like for some reason, like when I was there and like I started the DJ, like I was shitting bricks. I ain't gonna lie on the way.
I'm sure. That's not like I know it's a lot of people. It's different. On radio, you know you're heard, but you don't see the people. But then it's just like,
now that we've got to go over the whole story and you know where I come from, I used to ride that train as a kid, you know, down the, you know, the high school. I went to high school on 18th Street. I used to ride the one train to go sell crack in the village. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I used to do that type of shit. So the ride to the Garden was just crazy. I purposely took the train because I wanted to feel that shit. Like I wanted to feel the come up. When I got there and I did the pregame warm-ups, it was good. But I ain't gonna lie, when they put my fucking name on that fucking on that Jumbotron,
yo,
it was like, honestly, I felt like I was by myself when I was DJing. Like, it's so weird. Like, everything around me was just black, and I was just in the zone. Like, it was crazy.
It was like, yo, I got this, and I'm sure seeing your name was like in that moment, like, yo, I made it. Like,
yo, I'm in the
you know what I
garden.
mean?
That
Like,
shit,
wow, my name is there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you took a photo of that, or maybe even a little clip.
Yeah. We did it
sometimes when you try, and sometimes it's like, oh, I just missed it. But
I had one guest that I could bring with me to the garden, and I basically brought the guy that I started this music journey with, who's Shot Boogie. A lot of people know him. You know, he's the guy that had a Shade 45. He's also the guy that drives me everywhere. You know, I brought him. It was only right that I brought him because he was the one that I had met in the beginning of this journey. And
wow.
I had him filming this shit, and then we did a short documentary on it, like a 3-minute documentary, and we basically, you know, covered everything that we just spoke about, like the whole entire journey, in this 3-minute documentary, and it culminated in Madison Square Garden.
That I'm sure that's inspired. Like right now, I feel like, damn, I can imagine how you felt in that moment.
There's no words, Ty. There's no words to describe your name. Being from New York City, growing up in New York City, growing up in the Bronx, you know, we all from New York, and to be able to go to the fucking garden, like the garden, like that shit to DJ.
No, not Knicks. Even go to actually be the highlight of the night.
Yes.
Like, yo.
I had 3 DJ sets that night. So I did pregame workout, I did 2-minute timeout, and I did halftime. And yo, that shit went by like this.
Yo.
Shit, like that. And the weird thing is that the best set the reason why they brought me to the garden was because the actual Knicks hired me to do this. But the reason why they brought me to the garden was because they wanted me to play what I play on Shade 45. They didn't want the new music. They wanted like the hip hop shit, the Naughty by Nature, the Tribe Called Quest. That's what they wanted.
The good stuff. The good stuff.
Yeah. But the best set that I did was the 2-minute timeout. I did like I don't know if you're familiar with like David Gutter, like he does like the techno type of music. Like I did like a mix of like Pitbull.
Oh, I know, of course.
Yeah, so I did like a mix of like Pitbull and like Fat Man Scoop. Yo, and the garden went crazy when I played that shit because it appeals to more people, you know?
Yeah, Fat Man Scoop though. Fat Man Scoop.
Yeah, classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that shit was just amazing times. Like I still like to this day, like, yo, I can't believe I did the garden.
I'm sure your heart dropped, like.
Yeah.
For a few minutes, and then after a while, he was like, okay, I got this.
Previously, I would say the highlight of my career was shooting Prodigy for Mobb Deep's last music video. But I gotta say, the garden, that shit.
The garden did it.
The garden, it's a fucking garden. Like it's the staple.
But
of New York.
I'm sure you did fantastic, and I'm sure they're like, yo, we need him back.
Yeah, no,
whenever they reopen.
No, I was actually talking to them about doing multiple dates. And, you know, and this, you know, I did the garden January 10th, but they shut the NBA season down. So we were talking about doing shit like in the summer. Like they was mad, like they were trying to do content, like all types of shit. And they were going to bring me back. And then the whole shit just happened right now.
Yeah, but you know what? When things get back in order, I'm sure it's going to come back hard. And
oh, yeah.
You're just going to have a whole, I mean, like you don't already, but you're going to have a whole lineup of things.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's next.
Oh my gosh. And then play your music, of course. That would be dope if you could play COVID-19 and then some.
Yeah. I mean, I could have played whatever I wanted, but I chose to play more commercialized music because I understood that the people that go to the garden are not necessarily all hip hop.
Right.
You know.
True.
So at that point it's like I had to like do the more quote unquote corporate play. Not that they told me I had to do that, but I just understand that because I understand business. You know, so it was a conscious decision on my end to say, you know what, I ain't playing none of my records at the garden. I'm going to what they want to hear and just take care of the listeners. One of the things that I've learned DJing is the biggest mistake a DJ makes is playing for themselves. So when you play for yourself, it's just, and I used to do that in the beginning because I'm not a DJ by trade. I used to do that all the time. And I've learned throughout time, you know what? You can't play for yourself. You got to play for the people.
Right. Because then you'll see the crowd, and then you'll see this, and, you know, and then go back, and then I'm sure you get the people that come up to you, yo, can you play this? Can you play that? Can you play this? Listen, I gotta go with the crowd want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to hear reggae.
Yeah.
They want to hear R&B.
Yeah.
I know you love hip hop, right? Now, what about? I mean, I know you're a DJ, so you pretty much play a mixture of things. Now, what about like R&B? Is that like your thing, or?
Of course. Anything, and I think a lot of people will be surprised. You know, even moving beyond that, I also play like a lot of soul music, and I'm talking about like 70s soul, like the Manhattans, like Al Green, like you know, like we could get into that pocket as well, and that's just my natural growing up. Like I grew up in a Hispanic home, obviously, but we grew up in an African American neighborhood, you know. So I grew up around, you know, black people in a sense. You know what I mean? Like my neighbor, everybody, like you know, collard greens, cornbread. Like I grew up around that, all my friends, everything. So my mom, she wasn't listening to Willie Colon in the crib, like the Puerto Rican shit. She was listening to, you know, the soul records. You know, she was listening to Earth, Wind and Fire. She was listening to Marvin Gaye. She was listening to Luther Vandross. Like she was listening to,
you
like,
can't play with Luther. We could go deep into that. Like people would be like, how you know these people?
Yeah, you know, Luther. She would listen to this artist by the name of Gene Plum, who guys may not know, but Gene Plum is her sample is the Win or Lose sample, the Mobb Deep sample. Like here I go again, whether I. So you know, and that I picked up hip hop in general. Growing up in that type of household.
Got it.
Because when you heard Wu-Tang, when you heard Nas, when you heard that was just all a derivative of that shit. They just sped it up and just said what the fuck we were going through, you know? But yeah, I love that shit. And of course I play Spanish. I mean, I play everything. Reggae. A lot of people credit me for bringing the Afrobeat sound. One of the, like literally the first person. I heard Afrobeats when I went to Jamaica like 4 years ago or something like that. I was just in a random like hole in the wall Jamaican spot with nobody in that shit except me and my wife, and the DJ was playing some shit that I'd never heard before, like never. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Is that?
I went to the DJ. His name is DJ Wi-Fi. I went to him. I'm like, yo, what is this? He's like, yo, this is some shit called Afro beats, and the artist he was playing was a guy named Techno. And the song was called Pana. And, I took that song back and I started
playing.
That
song.
that was before like anybody knew about Divido and all that. And I took that record and I took it back to Shade 45, and I started playing Afro beats on the radio. And then it just, you know, people, you know, that DJs play what other DJs play. So they'll never credit me for it. You know what I mean? But you're not supposed to. It's just you. Yo, what's this? I never heard this before. Let me play this. And then it just play good. And that should just take off like that.
It's the I'm talking about right here. The world famous records. Check. You know what time it is. Look. Yo, it's about to be a homie, it's about to be a homie. Another homicide when I'm letting off the Tommy. I hit him in his head, leave him dead in the lobby. We fled from the body, dare y'all to try me. It's about to be a homie, it's about to be a homie. Another homicide when I'm letting off the Tommy. I hit him in his head, leave him dead in the lobby. Fled from the body, dare y'all to try me. Check, the flow's marvelous, I'm serving this medicine like a pharmacist. The dawn of spit balls of Heron, the young novelist. I'm not an anonymous. Atomic bombing when my armor lift. One shot to tilt the world of his axis. When the llama spit, I rhyme a fish. These is pissed. I'm on surrounded. Your speaker might catch a seizure the way my rhymes are switching. Chick gave top to my main word. My swinging in and out of both of they mouths while lane switch. Phenomenon came from the streets, got my rhyming on. As soon as I speak, they can't eat like it's Ramadan. Youngin' said heat to any beat that he climb upon. The upper echelon of the song when the nine is drawn. Duck when I'm loading the Glock. We can go on the block. My young boys ain't holding a shot. You took an L from that coke in the pot. I spit shell to the smell. Have you looking like you smoking a rock? About to be a homie, it's about to be a homie. Another homicide when I'm letting off the Tommy. I hit him in his head, leave him dead in the lobby. We fled from the body, dare y'all to try me. It's about to be a homie, it's about to be a homie. Another homicide when I'm letting off the Tommy. I hit him in his head, leave him dead in the lobby. Fled from the body, dare y'all to try me.
Yeah, back out and let everybody have it. Keep squeezing till you see a body drop. Make sure that everybody in the casket or leave them leaking like a motherfucking tire pop. You got a problem, pop. If you got a problem, pop. I don't with none of you like when they count them pop. Get a car, got the drop. Case we can find a mop. Leave him laying leaking with his brains oozing out his top. We can go shop to shop, buy birdie. Yours ran out, mine's got 30. I use cold craft soap when my hands got dirty. Interrogation rooms, I stay sturdy. And I ain't never worried, gave a about a tell him so he had to die, feel some way. Take the top off, the tuna folded and cut. Stop asking for the hammer if you ain't gonna jump.
It's about to be a homie, it's about to be a homie. Another homicide when I'm letting off the Tommy. I hit him in his head, leave him dead in the lobby. We fled from the body, dare y'all to try me. It's about to be a homie, it's about to be a homie. Another homicide when I'm letting off the Tommy. I hit him in his head, leave him dead in the lobby. Fled from the body, dare y'all to try me. It's the art of war, Sun Tzu, my gunners is on the humble. Them shots say nothing, they humming when they coming through. You think I give a fuck how your squad do? So put on your shine, that'll give us more reasons to rob you. I stayed where the riders be, with two cannons, so it looks like I got twin midgets on the side of me. These better duck when the pump clap, the shot of you jump back and roll up on like blunt wraps. When it come to the bars, know I'm a wizard with it. My neck look like hell frozen, a blizzard hit it. This year my set go hard, cause we keep dimes a crack the size of a Metro card. Look, my are a product of hard living. The bars are God given. The God's repertoire on the yard spitting. The AR spray 100 yards and your squad splitting. COVID-19 infant graphics is hard hitting. Be a homie, it's about to be a homie. Another homicide when I'm letting off the Tommy. I hit him in his head, leave him dead in the lobby. We fled from the body, dare y'all to try me. It's about to be a homie, it's about to be a homie. Another homicide when I'm letting off the Tommy. I hit him in his head, leave him dead in the lobby. Fled from the body, dare y'all to try me. I mean, it's what y'all been waiting for, ain't it? Right. The world famous. Yeah, records. I ain't coming to play no fucking games though. The Inphamus Amadeuz. About to be your buddy, your buddy. Word. Yo, grab the ride though.
Yeah. You doing your thing. You are busy. You started in film. I mean, videographer. Do you still, I mean, you just said you did your video or you're working on a video for your song.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell us what song?
Yeah, so the first video they're going to see is Try Me. It's track 3 in the video is with the artist named B.A. Bad. And shout out to Graph-Wise. I didn't mention, but I collaborated with one producer on this EP. So one producer produced the whole EP. His name is Graph-Wise from Canada.
Wow,
so Try Me's the first video. And the amazing thing about it is all the scenes that you see of mine are shot on my iPhone.
Wow.
So you're not going to be able to tell, but, you know, in a sense, it's like I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I am a videographer. I'm a film guy. But all the scenes you see on my iPhone, obviously, you know, it's COVID-19. We can't bring a film crew out. Nobody want to be next to each other. So
right.
I have my wife hold the camera for my shot, my phone. I actually have this gimbal right here. I'll show it to you. So I got this thing right here. It's a gimbal. It's a stabilizer for the iPhone. So you can basically move around and shit. And you know, it doesn't bounce. And then my next video, I'm actually gonna have my kids direct my next video. So my kids are gonna direct my next video.
You really trying to keep that music industry in the family.
Yeah, the next video will either be Achu or it'll be Stimulus Package. And my kids are gonna direct my video. My kids are gonna shoot everything you see in the video. So with
nice.
this, you know, with this thing right here on my phone, they're gonna shoot the video. I mean, and you know, the way phones are made now is like the fucking cameras on the phones are like it's just as good as my regular camera.
It is. It is.
So why
even
not
with
take
like
advantage of
editing photos and stuff, sometimes people are like, oh my God, you did it on your phone?
Yeah, everything. Yep. All the flyers that I've been putting out have been on my iPhone. Like, it's just so amazing how technology has advanced in the last few years.
Every year is always something.
Yes, it is. I agree.
I'm just, my brain is starting to hurt. I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe it's because of the quarantine or whatever, but I'm just like,
yeah.
Listen, it's too much, but you know, we gotta keep up. We gotta keep up. So how are you staying busy during this pandemic? I mean, I'm sure you got a list of things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, right now, they're gonna start seeing the COVID-19 EP roll out. So I'm gonna start doing media now and stuff like that. And then of course, I mean, I'm still working at radio, so I mean, I'm doing mixing from home and shit. And then you'll see. No, everything's from home. I don't know when the station's opening back up. Like I don't know. I don't know what life is gonna be like when we come out of this. I don't think it's gonna be the same as before. I'm almost sure. Like it's not. I
feel like half of us are gonna be like zombies because we've been so like
cooped in.
It's kind of like when you come out, it's either you're gonna be a huge burst of energy, like oh my God, I'm out, or it's gonna be like oh my God, I'm out, like. Yeah. What do I do? How do I do it? I forgot. Like,
how do you operate? I think the same thing to do. Like for me personally, like, when it's time to go back outside, I'm not going out right away. I'm gonna let everybody else go out first.
That's me, because everybody's gonna be out going crazy, and it's like I'm one. Like if the doctor says, "Listen, don't do this for a week," I'm more like 2 weeks. I put a little time on top of it because then it's like you don't want to get yourself sick again.
Yeah.
And you know, but they're saying non-essential locations and stuff is gonna open back up in June, but then they're saying the quarantine ends May 15th.
Yeah,
which makes no sense.
Well, here in Pennsylvania, it's gonna end May 7th. So like starting Monday, they're gonna reopen the liquor stores, but you can't go in the liquor store, so you can take it to go. You know, it's like whatever. But May 7th.
Wait, what about the bar? It looked like you good. What about the barbershops and stuff?
Nah, I did this shit myself. Like, luckily I learned how to do that. Like, you know, line myself up.
Yeah, I was about to say I thought I was gonna see something always.
Nah, I can't do that. Nah, luckily, like early on, like I learned how to like give myself like a general shape up. When during my time as a booking agent, like a lot of people don't know I was a booking agent. I was fucking booking Method Man and Red Band. I was booking everybody across the country. Yeah, at one time. And I used to be on the road a lot, so I couldn't get to a barbershop. Like in some of these towns, you know, the fucking barbershop closed at 5 o'clock. I'm not even getting to the town at 7 o'clock. So I bought a barber blade and I just learned how to like, you know, just do a general lineup. And, you know,
and then sometimes you can't really trust another
can't be having
barber.
niggas in your face.
Like line me up. You be like, yo, what the hell did you do, yo?
Yeah, they Zeke and shit is crazy. Like,
yo, but I mean, it seems like you're so busy. Like during this time, are you like being able to chill? I mean, obviously you have the COVID-19, so you're not really chilling. But as far as everything else, are you able to like take back and handle things that you weren't able to finish off? Because you know, when you're so busy, there's things that you want to put your attention to and you just don't have the time. So would you say that you have the time for it now a little bit or not so much?
Yeah, specifically with the Inphamus hour, this was a good time to really catapult it because I didn't have time before because obviously Shade 45 is the priority. So I couldn't prioritize in a sense, my own thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you got to be a team player at the end of the day. So if Shade 45 is what it is, team player into whatever they want to do. But now this whole thing has happened, I've been able to really focus on the Inphamus Hour. But the problem is that, you know, when you run your own business, in a sense, it's like there's always something to do. Like, there's always something to do. So, like, now people are seeing my digital FM platform, Live 89. So people are starting to see this thing poke up. So I have a digital FM platform. So it's online, but it's ran like FM. It sounds like FM, and I broadcast FM shows from across the country on this one platform. But I'm broadcasting shows that are in smaller markets. So you're not gonna see a show from like New York City. You'll see a show from like Pittsfield, Massachusetts, like New London, Canada. And they're basically, I have a show from Paris that's on it. And they're essentially real hip hop shows. So that they're super, it's a Shade 45 format, like the super hip hop shows. And I put them on this Live 89 FM platform. So now I've been able to, you know, push that forward. So I have the Live 89 FM All Mix weekend. This weekend coming up on Saturday and Sunday. And I'm always looking for shows for Live 89, like always looking for new content, you know, people that want to work. And that's something I've been able to focus more on during this time.
Dang, so it sounds like you don't really get no sleep.
Nah. Nah.
So how do you like, I mean, I'm sure your wife understands it, you know, but how do you make time for family? I mean, it happens, I'm sure. Does she, you know, does family come with you to some events sometimes? How do you balance that?
Well, I mean, I'm home now, so I am physically here, you know, so that makes a difference. I think it was a little more rough when we were able to go outside, because I would go to New York for like 3-4 days at a time. Basically, instead of me traveling back and forth from my home to New York, I would just go to New York and just stay there. So, but I think my kids are very understanding of the situation. And I also think that they're inspired by it, because it makes them want to become business owners themselves. So their aspirations are not like, oh, I want to, you know, fucking work at Walmart. You know, I don't want to work in a corporation. I want to own my own business. I want to do this. I want to do that. You know, whatever it is that they want to do. I want to do real estate. I want to do whatever. So I think them watching me has helped them have these type of like different aspirations.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with that.
So it's been, you know, it's good. They're very understanding. Plus, you know what? I have 4 teenagers in the house. So like they're in their own fucking world.
They just
They fucking, they're quarantined every minute themselves. They don't gotta have a quarantine. They're in the room. They want to play PlayStation. You know, my girls want to be talking to boys. What the fuck is like, you know what?
Oh man, tough times for you, huh?
Oh my God, I'm going through that shit right now.
Tough times, but listen, it's actually a good time, because I mean, it is social distancing. So
yeah, this is the first time to be socially distant.
You can't go nowhere.
This is the best time to be socially distant. Absolutely.
I mean, are they on TikTok like everybody else?
Yeah, my kids are definitely on TikTok. My kids actually, and I actually go to my kids, or I find out certain people that you see me with through my kids. Like, for example, so like Ron Suno. Like, I had Ron Suno on the Inphamus Hour. Like, I found him out through my kids. Like, my kids like, yo, Dad, look at, you know, and my kids, they don't come to me unless because they know I want bars. They know what it's about. They also know that I'm receptive to the new generation. Let's not get it twisted. Like, I like to listen to like a little auto-tune every once in a while. Like, you know, DJing in strip clubs.
A little bit.
A little bit. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I had to, and people have heard me say this before, I had to sit my kids down, and I needed to understand what it was that I was listening to. And at the end of the day, this is their version of hip hop. And it's not anybody's business or priority to judge them on that. And every generation has the same thing. So, for example, like, when I was growing up, when I was listening to Snoop Dogg, when I was listening to Nas, when I was listening to Mobb Deep, my parents thought that wasn't hip hop. Why? Because this hip hop was violent, it's aggressive. This is garbage hip hop. This is not hip hop. Their version of hip hop was Rakim and you know, fucking, you know, Grandmaster Flash and, you know,
Run DMC.
So we have to, as older people, we have to look at it that way. But we also have to tell our kids that at the end of the day, the main difference between the two is that these kids just do not respect the art of MCing. and that doesn't make you a rapper. So that's where the line gets drawn. It's like, all right, I understand it's your version of hip hop. I understand all of that, but y'all niggas is not respecting being a rapper. The flip side to this, though, Taj, is that it's also because they don't have an R&B genre. I started to realize that they don't have an R&B genre. They have no R&B music. So these kids are fucking singing. They don't have R&B. What are they listening to exactly? Chris Brown, I mean, what did he talk about? He talking about the same shit that Travis Scott is talking about. What's the difference? There's no R&B music. So they're creating their own, you know, robotic R&B in a way. It's like fucking weird, Taj. It is like, you know.
I know. Sometimes you're like, what the hell am I listening to? Yo?
Yeah, it's fucking bad. But
it's like you can't give up because sometimes it sounds crazy in the beginning, and after a while you're like, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard some songs too, because you know, being associated with radio, you get sent music a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, and then it's like, you know, then the other aspect comes into it is like, you know, I work at a station where, you know, this is the Mount Rushmore of hip hop on my station. You got Sway, like I said, you got DJ Premier, you got Static Selector, you got DJ Woo Kid, you got you got all. I mean, you got all of these
heavy hitters.
Yo, you got all of these elite DJs. Like, how do you expect to come up and send me a record where you can't come in the studio and do that same thing? You can't come in the studio unless you coming in. I've only seen one kid in this whole time that we've done this showcase actually come with like a mobile auto-tune setup. Like, he literally came with like a vocal shit. Like, it was like a box that he came with. He plugged it into the mixer and he was doing auto-tune live. If you're not doing that, why the fuck are you coming to my station singing when you know what I mean? Like, what you sound crazy. Like,
yeah. I know, but you know what? Some people need to, you know what? And I would say it's either we learn, because we both started somewhere. Of course, you started way before I have, but we both started somewhere, and it takes learning from others. It takes learning from your own. It takes researching to know what and what not to do.
Yeah.
You know, and some people think too, like, oh my God, like they probably just looking, because I would look at you like, yo, he's a cool guy. He seems like a cool guy to me. And then sometimes they don't think professionally.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's cool. I met him somewhere, and you know, I'm here. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes you gotta, when you show yourself, like, you know, well, maybe moving forward, you try to give advice, like, hey, you know, you may want to have this together next time, because some people will look at music or whatever and not even say anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, just to further what you're saying, this is the music business. So, and again, you'll hear me say this all the time. It's 90% business, 10% music. If you're entering a showcase or you're entering an arena where you know it's a Shade 45 DJ, then you know, you should already know for a fact what it is that you have to do. And if you don't know that, that's actually your fault, because you need to be, as an artist, you need to be prepared at all times.
Yeah.
And again, it just comes back to the same thing. So you see like a lot of guys right now, they're dropping this and dropping that. What if you walk in the room and Sway is there? Sway is the #1 radio platform in the world, hip hop. Bigger than the Breakfast Club. He has more listeners than the Breakfast Club. He's the biggest radio personality. All these kids want to get on Sway. Right. What are you gonna do when you go to Sway? What are you gonna do exactly? So at the end of the day, you still have to be an MC. And if you're not a rapper, then don't call yourself a rapper. Call yourself a trap and V artist. Call yourself, like, this is, we gotta start defining this, Taj. We gotta start separating. Yeah. Like we gotta separate. You can't call yourself a rapper if you can't rap. You know?
Right. You can't say you do freestyle and you can't freestyle.
At the same time, one of the things that I've learned about doing this showcase, I think that kids have seen that I reward guys who can rap, so they start to rap. And that is just the whole point of what I did. It's like, you know what? Let me show these kids that if you actually rap, I can reward you, because you go into this showcase, you ain't getting nothing. You go to this showcase, you ain't getting nothing. You come to my showcase, you actually have the chance to actually go. So they see one guy go. They see two guys go.
Right.
Now five guys down the line, like, hold the fuck on. Wait, I want to go too. So let me go back. Let me write my bars. And then they come back, 3-4 times. Yo, listen, I wrote this shit. I want to spit this shit. And then I'm like, all right, bet. So now we got it together. And then we got something.
That's what's up. But so Mr. Director, producer, Guru, we're going to just call you Guru.
Thank you.
That's going to be your nickname, right? I'm sure you're okay with that, Guru.
It's all good, baby.
Because, people don't know, but they need to know what it is, right? I mean, are you going to keep giving us more? I mean, you already have a lot going on. You going to keep giving us more?
Yeah, so I actually have the next single off the Any Day Now series. It's a record called You. It's a straight like R&B record. So it's straight like it's straight like, of course I'm spitting bars, and the song is about some shit that I went through. So it's like a real personal, like I'm actually gonna start giving them like insight into like my life now in a sense. So it's a straight R&B record, and it's good. It's a kind of a preview of where my sound is gonna go. I would like to get my sound into like the Common, like Common, like Jay Dilla, like Talib Kweli, like I mean like the acoustic sound of it, like the way that it sounds. You're still gonna get the 90s bars. You're still gonna get the, if you want to call me Jadakiss or Cannon or whatever the fuck you want to say, you're still gonna get that, but you're just gonna get a different vibe. You know what I mean? So,
speaking of Jada, I'm sure when you somewhere talking, I'm sure people walk by and turn around and be like, Jada? You don't get that sometimes?
I get that a lot. I get that a lot. I don't actually sound like Jadakiss. Like, and actually, if you go to YouTube, there's a video Jadakiss that I shot. It's Jadakiss gets the key to Jersey City. So if you look it up, it's actually me and Jadakiss talking. It's me interviewing Jadakiss. I shot this and I interviewed him when he got the key to Jersey City. And we actually don't sound nothing alike. It's just people will always relate something new to something they know. This is how life is. So like if you see like a car, you're like, this car looks like this car. Or if you eat a burger, this burger tastes like this sandwich. Like this is how life is in general. So I try not to get upset about it. I think it kind of irks me a little bit when people just say things just to say it. Like you're just saying shit to say it. But I have a raspy voice and I can't change it. It is what it is.
Hey, I sound like myself. I'm Inph. Exactly. This is what I sound like. Take it or leave it.
I'll leave it. Yep.
I sound like myself.
I sound like myself. Well, when I did Lord Sear, which is the show I work on, that was the first question he asked me in the interview. He's like, yo, but niggas say you sound like Jadakiss. Like he threw me off with that shit. But I'm glad he did that just to get it out the way. Like let's get out the way. Let's address the elephant in the room right now. Niggas say you sound like this nigga. What do you think? This is what I think. Boom. Now we can move on.
Right. Because it's kind of tough to come up with something just straight in the beginning. Like, oh, okay, so this is what it's gonna be like now.
Yeah.
It kind of kills the mood.
It does.
You gotta give me something to build me back up. Because now, like, and I say, for instance, like if somebody call me by my middle name, that's a mood shift for me.
Yeah, it's super.
You can't be like, weird. Yo, so what's your middle name? Like,
it's weird. It's weird. On the flip side, I think that when people actually look into my catalog, I think their opinion of who I sound like would change once they realize that you actually know niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to manage Snipe Life, D Block. You know what I mean? If people saw the clip of Jadakiss, I think he was like on ESPN or some shit. He was saying like, yo, this nigga look like my man Snipe. Snipe is on my album right now. Snipe has been on my last 3 albums. I shot videos for Styles P. Welcome to New York. I shot videos for Jadakiss. Like I've been around these niggas. Like, you know what I mean? I went on tour with these niggas. Like I know these niggas. So I think when they know, I think when they see that, but again, they're just looking at it from the perspective of like, he's a DJ trying to rap and he sounds like this nigga. They don't really know the whole backstory. You know what I mean? And I'm not really, I'm not really
people that's not gonna even try.
Yeah, I really don't care, honestly, because I'm not in it for this. I've never been in it for fame. I've never been in it for likes. I'm in this shit for the bag, period. I want the bag, feed my family. I got my family out the hood. I'm good. Y'all niggas say whatever the fuck y'all want. I really don't give a shit. Like, it's cool.
I'm Inph, y'all. That's what y'all need to know.
And I'm better than y'all niggas anyway.
Hey, hey.
Let's talk about
But
it.
I know you were saying journalism. I know we got to wrap up, but I know you were saying journalism is something that you want to get into, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing
like,
now with the Inphamus Hour. So like being a journalist, like, you know, being like, I don't want to be controversial. Like, I don't want to be that. I just want to get to the point, the facts, have interactive content with the people. And that's how you last. And like, see what we're doing right now, like straight conversation. Like, that's how you last in this business.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, do you eventually see yourself having your own magazine?
Yeah, well, I had a magazine. Matter of fact, I got
one. I know, that's why I did that. I said.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pulling it right now. I got one here. Hold on. I have my magazine. This is one of them.
I get at them.
Yeah. So this was volume 5. So I had Papoose on one side.
Oh shoot.
And then I had AZ on the other.
Oh, that's cute. I like how you flip.
Yeah, and basically I used to do double editions, and like a lot of the guys that you see like on social media, like I was like one of the first. I was like the first people, one of the first nigga to put niggas in newsstands, like Cortez. Like Cortez, you see Cortez. You know, this is fucking damn near 6-7 years ago. You know, like so it's the same concept of look at D Chambers. I know a lot of guys see D Chambers. You know, so D Chambers.
Wow.
I mean, these are, you know, I put a lot of these guys on the newsstands for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm sure they will never forget that.
Of course not. So I think a lot of people don't really understand the relationships that I have, but I've done a lot. But I get out of magazine. I would love to do another magazine. It's definitely on my agenda. The last magazine that we did, but it never came out, was Cardi B and Chinks. That was the last mag, and it just never came out because Chinks died, and then, you know, Cardi B fucking blew up.
Yeah.
I would love to do another mag, and I think that now is a good time, Taj, because everything vintage is coming back. So, like, you know, cassettes, fucking vinyl. So, you know, I think a magazine would be good, and I definitely want to look into doing another I Get Out magazine.
And that'll just bring more people to you.
More people,
more
right? More responsibility.
And what about the modeling?
Nah, that shit is over. That shit was a
No?
headache for me. Yeah, it was over. Yeah, that shit. I think that time is gone now too. Like the whole modeling shit is gone. Like the models now are the bartenders, you know, of clubs and shit. The actual model aspect is gone. That shit is gone. Like I think we caught the end of it. The Get At 'Em girls, and I'm very grateful for all the Get At 'Em girls. I mean, I had like 25 of them at one time. You know, like I'm super grateful for all those girls, because those girls are my original road dogs that I was running with in this industry that got me where I needed to go. You know, my work with them is what got me the relationships with, you know, directors and being on Shade. It all started with them, so I'm forever grateful for them girls.
So I definitely want to say also that I hear you're very popular with being an interviewer for celebrities.
Yeah, that is that's getting around now too, I see.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know why? Like, is it because you know you're just that cool guy? They know that you're a great businessman.
Maybe I just asked the right questions. I also think too, like when the camera comes on, it's like automatic for me.
Right.
So it's like, you know, like before here, I was just eating a lasagna. Like, you know what I mean? The camera comes on. I mean, obviously we're more in a calm environment, but when the camera comes on, it's very just like, you know,
it's natural.
Very,
like, yeah,
I think I asked the right questions. I think I stay not being controversial, and I think you know, people I interview, they like that. They enjoy that. I'm not like trying to dig in their business. I'm trying to ask the general questions that the people want to hear. That's it. I'm not here to start controversy or do shit for clout, man. Fuck that. Let's talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your resume. Let's do that.
Exactly, because people don't take to that. Like, yo, you going way too deep.
Yeah.
Way too deep.
I'm impressed because you're able to keep a conversation for an hour. That shit is not fucking easy. It is not easy to do that. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not
easy, you know. But after a while, you know, we quick learners. After a while, it just comes natural, like, you know.
Yeah. So all your episodes you do like this? It's an hour. Every episode's an hour.
Yeah, because you know, one person is kind of hard. Like when people first people didn't want Zoom interviews. They're like, oh, I'll just wait. I'd rather have the person to person. And then as they saw time went by, and to me, if I just do one person for 2 hours, the next interview won't be till I don't know when. So I just try to be fair and give everybody an hour, which goes by so fast.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But at the station, it'd be a whole bunch of people at once, you know, try to make it fun and everything. But
I think that what we're doing right now will eventually become the new norm. I don't know if it's gonna be the way it was before, Taj. I don't know, man.
You see my face?
I don't know. Maybe in time, but I don't know, Taj. The shit that happened right now was fucking crazy.
It is, because even when things get back to where we can go out, people are still gonna be looking at each other like, yo.
Like, yo, motherfuckers got the cooties. Like, New York got the cooties. Like,
yo,
it's like,
yo, you took it back.
You like this, like, you're like, yo, you got the cooties.
Do kids do that anymore? I
don't know, man, but that's what it just looked like. And again, I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'm looking at this shit from the news perspective. So I can imagine how the rest of the world looks right now. Like, New York looks crazy. Like, it looked like the fucking whole state got the cooties. Like, it's like, I'm from New York. That's my town, but it's fucking crazy.
I know. And what makes it worse is that you don't even have to have symptoms, which is crazy. So,
yo, look at all the people that have been dying. Like, Frederick Garson just died. They're fucking.
I know. Rest in peace to him. Like, I was looking forward to interviewing him as well, but.
Yeah. There's another guy that he did like a lot of shows. His name is Black Lotto. He did a lot of showcases. He was working on building like a New York festival, like how A3C is in like South by Southwest in New York. He died. Yo, there's a lot of people that have passed away from this COVID-19 shit.
It's no joke. I know a lot of people are not taking it seriously still. I know in the beginning people was like, but then after a while I'm like, it's real, people.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been in quarantine for what, like a month now? Like, if you haven't looked up about it yet, come on.
We're going on 2 months right now. We've been in quarantine. You know, we're going on 2 months. And in the beginning, like, I didn't really know nothing about it. Like, so I had did my birthday party on March 9th. I did a concert. Yo, and the concert was light. It was mad light. And I didn't realize why at that time. I just thought like, yo, maybe it's a Monday, niggas didn't want to come out.
Yeah.
Then when I did my actual birthday party on the 11th, they canceled the NBA season, like while I was doing my podcast. And Todd, when I tell you, there was nobody at the birthday party.
I'm sure, like
shit was empty.
I'm one, like, you know, I will get certain distinctive information from people, right? And I hold it to myself until I feel like this is real. And I had a friend that actually sent me info, like, listen, we in just a few hours we're about to be quarantined. Everything's gonna be shut down. And I looked at it like, but then I said, yo, this is about to be real. And I forwarded it to my family and close friends. And a lot of people was like, you think so? Real? I'm like, yeah, this is real. And look what happened.
It got crazy.
Shut down.
Yo, it got crazy. Like, and it happened so fast. So I remember, like, so I had my birthday party on the 11th. The 12th, when I went to the station, I DJ on Thursday. They're like, listen, the whole station's about to get shut down. This COVID-19. Then it starts becoming real. Like, it starts affecting you, like, work. Like, you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Then St. Patrick's Day, that was my wife's birthday. They shut New York down.
What? Pisces?
So we all Pisces. Yeah. I need the alarm, but what a boy, that's your Pisces.
Oh, I'm the 19th, so I can't.
So your shit got shut down. That was a Tuesday. So Thursday, I had my showcase that day. Everything shut down. See you later.
Yeah, I was tight.
Yeah,
I was tight. They lucky it ain't a milestone for me. I was oof.
Yeah, it'd be crazy, right? Yeah.
But you know what? When this ends, we're gonna be partying like crazy.
she got a party. It was her 40th birthday. Like shut down the whole New York, the world shut down. Yeah, but you know it is what it is. At least everybody's safe. Everybody's safe now.
Yeah.
And let's just see what happens, Todd. Let's see. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thank you for this interview.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. Oh, are you gonna be well, when this is over, are you gonna be continuing with having your weekly
showcase?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta see exactly what is gonna happen. I don't know. Like right now, to be honest, like I'm shifting everything to online. So this is the one thing that quarantine has taught me. And for anyone who's listening, you know, each one teach one.
Right.
The only people surviving right now are people that have things rolling online. So this is the one thing that is picked up is online. Streaming is up 2,000%.
Yeah.
Everything is up online. So it's very important to just roll these things out to life moving forward. Like even what we're doing now. Like it's all good to have the fucking interview like in the studio, but you know what? This is more comfortable for everybody, and I think again, this will probably end up being the new norm. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, but I'm happy this is, you know, is happening now, I guess. Because if it was back in the day, I can imagine, because technology was not like this.
Yeah, no, we'd been fucked up.
And it'd be like, yo, I'll see you when I see you. Like, literally, not even on the phones, nothing.
Yeah, but it's like you don't even miss nobody because you see niggas all the time. Like, you know, it's like you go on and there's 100 niggas on live. It's like, it's fucking crazy.
And you know what I just thought about too? When it gets back to things, it's gonna be tough because when you see somebody you haven't seen in a while, I'm a hugger. I'm like, oh heck, now I gotta be like,
it's not gonna be the same. It's not. It's gonna be weird. Yeah, you're gonna be like this, the elbow, like
yo. I don't even know if we can even do that because
you gotta do the old school kid and play with the.
Yo, listen, you taking it back on all these people right now, yo.
Back in the day method's gonna work.
Yes, but you know, I want to say thank you so much once again.
Thank you for having me.
And please tell everybody where to follow you at. I already know your music is everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah, literally everywhere, yeah. So the Inphamus Amadeuz, all social media platforms at the Inphamus Amadeuz. My new EP, COVID-19, is out right now, all streaming platforms. Check it out, COVID-19, Inphamus Amadeuz. Make sure you tune in to me, Sirius XM Shade 45, the Lord Seer special, every single Thursday, doing the throwback edition of the drunk mix. I play nothing but golden age classics, 90s, 2000s. My last mix that I did that I'm going to post on my SoundCloud was a New Jack swing mix. It was heavily inspired by the Babyface and Teddy Riley battle. So I play that type of shit. I take requests, I give shout outs, and just hit me up if there's something there. And make sure you subscribe to my podcast, The Inphamus Hour, iHeartRadio. Love y'all. Peace and blessings.
And let's not forget, just in case none of y'all listen to that, and even if you did, all you got to do is Google him.
Yeah, true.
He's one of those people, just Google me.
Yeah.
You can say that. You're entitled.
Nah, I'm trying to be humble. I'm humble about it. Listen, I ain't always have that, so you can Google me though if you want. You just figure it out.
Exactly. Just Google him. Yeah. And throughout this show, you're gonna be hearing his music, guys. Just so you know.
Yes.
All right. COVID-19. And thank you again. And make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night, Prophet Radio in the Comfort Zone. Just continue to listen to WEMS Radio. You heard it here with Inphamus Amadeuz.
Maniac for carrots. Maniac for carrots. The money is on. Maniac for carrots. We taking advantage.
This is rap affected. Motion pictures I directed. The leader of the new millennium. I am selected, connected. Real hip hop, y'all been neglected. I'm about to breathe life in the game when I inject it. Protected, live from the X, what you expected. The game is infested with lames, I came to correct it. Manifested from the streets, I never left it. They gave birth to a beast, at least they respected. Appreciated, came to short, at least we made it. His lives get cut short, abbreviated. Vibes, cause in their eyes I see the hatred. It's kinda funny they realize that we can make it arch nemesis. Been spitting before Genesis. Spit with emphasis, so when I spit, they remember this. Rap effortless, they prejudice to my cleverness. That's why I inject aggressiveness in my sentences. It's over, never sober, jumping out the rover. The barrel on the toaster, spin around like a rotor. I'm colder, for exposure, I might roast you. The 45 will put you in a bag like a grocer. A soldier, the future's in the eye of the beholder. I rap at 1,000 horsepowers like a motor. I'm older, alone, a pockets on boulder, but my wrist frozen like Minnesota in October. It's over.
Maniac for carrots. Maniac for carrots. The money is on. Maniac for carrots.
Yo, I tell her to stop playing with me. My up in the mouth when she laying with me. We where it ain't safe and games that get you laid in the streets. Global hustle boy, we bout getting paid in the streets. And we go hard, the AR and the K for the beat. Click that on button, somebody gotta lay by the priest. And that Springfield 40 fit is staying with me. I keep the tuck around and it's plain to see. We're here to take the game to another level. Stun on these with the rose gold flooded bezel. Keep a couple Beckies, don't think I put my bust on freckles. My click full of rebels, hit the pedal, whipping the metal. We do you it's like bitches brew, flame under kettles. The two cleaner wrestle, send you to meet the devil. Stay in your lane, little niggas, this a man's hustle. I put that word out, my niggas in the can to touch you.
Maniac for carrots. Maniac for carrots. The money is on. Maniac for carrots. We taking advantage. Maniac for carrots.
Young and Don Daughter, sharper than Sean Carter. The young Bronx bomber, it I bomb harder. It's all that frontin' up in the club and get your crew shot. While you sippin' Ciroc, red beans for your blue dot. Who's hotter than young, under the sun? Nobody. Now feel the blast from the chrome shotty. Cause you ain't gotta smoke no loud to get twisted. That AR air out crowds and leave your wig split. The gang is on fuego. As soon as the 380 aim, it'll turn your brain to a tomato. The flame will make your frame twirl like a tornado. That white thing I spread on your girl is not mayo. Young and hot on the block, he still bagging. You on the block, 45 is still rapping. Get bread like a Huxtable. Just out of if you fucking the untouchable. Young and
maniac for carrots.
They want that.
Maniac for carrots. The money is on.
They got that old money though.
Maniac
we about that new money.
We taking advantage. Maniac for carrots. Money.
It's the motherfucking untouchables.